Alright, we'll go.
Alright, we're live. Coffee regular, on the fly.
No. Travel episode.
Yeah.
We are here at Cheney's place of business.
Endeavor Defense Fitness, Hilliard.
Yep, back in the yoga room.
Chilling in the yoga room. Mr. Sean here. Mr. Guest of Honor.
Actual guest, FaceKick episode 2.
Yeah. Ward was the first guy, so yeah. Episode 2, so we have the Coffee Tonic. Go ahead and explain what that is.
We're going to introduce you to a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. Coffee Tonics. Alright, so. Agave. And feel free to, chat while I'm making this. But
sure. What is the best coffee you've ever had in your life? We've been around the world and shit. So.
I went to Colombia last December. I'm going back in a couple months too, but my host's mother made coffee that morning, and I swear to God, it had meth in it, or cocaine, or something. You know what I mean? Because I felt different. I mean, it wasn't like from a Circle K coffee or even like a Starbucks. It just had like the inside of my body vibrated. It was amazing. It was a very healthy feeling though.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
nothing like Monster where you're like jittery. It's clean energy. Yeah.
Very clean. Yeah.
Fresh as it gets, yeah.
Cleaned me out too.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Alright, so got Indian tonic water.
Okay, so wait, did you put coffee in there and then you
just
put
a little
tonic water in there?
Then I'll put a little more coffee. So agave, a little bit of coffee.
Okay.
Tonic water, and then a little more coffee. And
it's just a very refreshing little deal.
Let me start real quick.
Chopstick stir.
The chopstick stir, portable, man, portable.
Always.
Alright. Got a nice froth on that. Enjoy.
Excellent.
Alright. A lid if you would like.
Sure.
There you go. Pop that on.
Just wake me up for the class later.
Exactly, ready to go. Be bouncing.
Alright, we gotta see your reaction.
It's just like, alright.
Let me swallow this gum.
There's a bathroom there.
I can't taint the taste of coffee with mint gum.
Right.
Let's see here. Quick, cleanse my palate. That is cool, man. That's like refreshing.
Right? It's weird.
Yes.
Right?
It's like, it almost even like, how coffee makes your mouth drier?
Yeah.
This doesn't give you that automatic like pasty tongue dry kind of thing. It's kind of like refreshing.
Cleans up that mouth feeling.
Fresco of coffee.
Yes. Yeah. That's what we go to in the hot, the hot days, summer days.
No, that's good. That's killer, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah. So where does that originate? England or?
I don't know. It was big. It was started in England, as far as I know. Someone sent me an article about it once, like years ago.
Well, I'm glad I came to learn something new.
So, cold pressed coffee, Fever Tree Indian tonic water. That's the key.
Okay.
And then
if you got to go anywhere, like splurge on the tonic water and give it that shit.
Splurge on the tonic water and you're good.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm a fan.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make us some now too, since we got them.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't really know much about you. So like where? Mike said you were in the UFC back in the day.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure I've seen you fight then.
You might not have. A lot of people don't know about me. I was never any kind of a superstar. I was never a champion. I was just a very lucky son of a bitch.
That's awesome.
In the martial arts world, and I was able to really capitalize on being in the right place at the right time. Don't get me wrong, I worked very, very hard for anything I've got, but it was...
Opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what luck is. An opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
So, I was born in Akron, Ohio. I was raised in the Northeast Ohio region, Cuyahoga Falls, Stowe, Youngstown, Ravenna, Brimfield. I kind of lived everywhere.
Bounced around. That's cool.
Yeah, I lived with my mom. She was a single mom and always having to find a place to stay and stuff like that. So I got to be around a lot of different people. A lot of different things.
Also grew up with a single mom, so Yeah. Feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
You get to meet a lot of cool characters and
Yeah,
do a lot of fun
and
things.
you also get to be put in some fucked up situations too.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, now, did you realize they were fucked up until you were an adult, or did you know at the time?
Well, when I was a kid, some of it was there was times where I was afraid.
Yeah.
You know, being a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
You know, I got into some trouble. Like shit, you don't want your kid to.
No.
You don't want to have happen to your kid.
Yeah.
But I found salvation within the chaos through martial arts. I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to watch Bruce Lee movies, 5, 6, jumping around, sounding like Bruce Lee, jumping on the bed and doing kicks and stuff like that. For like a minute, my mom got me into Kung Fu.
Oh, sweet.
Because that's what he started in, right? So, but that also ADHD, that didn't last very long, So then later on, like I was in the 6th grade, one of my older brothers, who in the 70s was a Golden Gloves champion, he started teaching me boxing. Again, my ADHD, I didn't have the discipline at the time to do it.
Sure.
I got you.
But I was always kind of picked on and bullied and things like that. So my freshman year, I started wrestling, and I only did it for like a month and a half. I got to the point where we went to scrimmages, just the first, before matches, before the competition started. It was just you're kind of like going to another school and wrestling the other teams. And it was just my 1 year. I was only a couple months in. I wasn't really good at it, and I was just getting overwhelmed by everybody else's technique and size, and it was just very, and plus I had like claustrophobia, so anytime I got, you know what I mean, not being able to move from somebody, you don't really want to do it.
It's scary.
So then I found kickboxing. A buddy of mine, Dan Hasselschwartz, he owns Aussie Surf Shop out in Newport, Oregon.
Oh, cool.
He got me into kickboxing. We were skaters. I was a skater. My physical progression through life was, as a child, gymnastics, breakdancing in the 80s, skateboarding in the mid 80s.
Perfect.
And then kickboxing into the 90s.
Actually, similar progressions then.
So yeah. So I was 14, turning 15 in 1990. I started kickboxing in Cuyahoga Falls, and then. I stuck with that, did Taekwondo and kickboxing, got my black belt in Taekwondo, racked up a pretty good record in the kickboxing. It was all full contact. I was fighting people when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. They were all in their 30s, late 20s. I was fighting men, so it gave me confidence when I was beating these people as a young boy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I got lots of positive praise from it. So like I said, martial arts is what gave me a good positive thing. And because of all that positive praise, and how it made me feel, that was when I was able to, no matter my ADHD or whatever, I was able to get past it and focus.
Yeah.
And I hyper-focused on it.
That's the ADHD too.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah. So, I would spend about 5 hours every day. I would leave school and go straight to the dojo, do my homework, and then, just stay until 10 o'clock at night.
Just train.
Just train all day. Lots of overtraining, but
Me too.
it was still...
Classic. It seems to be mental health is a lot of stuff we talk about too, when you just address and manage to go on to, but we talk about how that shit kind of just saved us more or less too, some way, shape, or form.
See, my psychologist, one of my psychologists I had in the military, they, after working with me, they figured out that I had basically born with PTSD, or my PTSD developed in my toddler years, or that I adopted my mother's from the womb kind of thing. There's all kinds of new theories out there that what your mother goes through while you're in the womb, you can actually the cortisol dumps.
With kids of Holocaust survivors, that's actually a thing too. Really? They passed on that trauma because that's what they knew, and you grow up kind of being around that mindset.
Right. And that theory explains instinctual behaviors. Even in animals, its memories are being imprinted in the DNA.
Yeah.
And that DNA is being passed on. That's why some of us are afraid of something for no fucking reason.
Mitochondria and RNA actually come from your mother. They don't make them, so they're passed down generationally.
Yeah.
So that's the link to that of how you can pass those things down genetically.
No, I believe in that. Yeah, you know, I mean, it sounds right to me. It makes sense.
It makes complete sense to me. I know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, we're best friends now. Yeah. You just told me my own life.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You know, on that subject, you know, it's funny. It's like if you just listen to anybody's story, we'll find probably, you know, lots of similarities in different ways.
Yep.
You know, like you might talk to somebody else because there's other parts of you more than just that, right?
Yeah, there is. But I mean, childhood-wise, I don't get a lot of people with that similar of an experience.
Oh, really?
Like we could have conversations that you would get that I'm
Right,
never
I got
gonna
you.
talk to anybody else.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, like guaranteed, because I know exactly what you're going through as a latchkey kid. Even as starting out as a skateboarder and then a breakdancer and then going into a striking art. Like, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The specifics of that is quite rare.
weird.
I'm gonna have to say, yeah. So maybe this is just a synchronicity that we're all supposed to hang.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now we just recorded it for fun too. So.
It's tossed out to the world.
That's, I think, another, that just goes back to showing, like, martial arts brings, like, the different types of people that you might not be exposed to together, like, you know, like, where else would we have met?
It's a Mason, it's a Masonic kind of, like, atmosphere, you know, like, but it's co-ed.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a bunch of dudes, you know, but it's a great networking, great place for people to where iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. I mean, there's just so much goodness out of it. There's also bad. Like, I mean, it can become cult-like and stuff like that. But even if it does become cult-like, as long as it's a healthy, well-balanced, critically thinking cult, you know.
As long as people generally think.
We all dress the same. We're normal. It's okay, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
So I did the kickboxing, and then I was in Buffalo. Rewind. This was right after graduation, 1993. I graduated high school. November of '93, the UFC 1 took place, and me and my buddies rented it, and we were sitting there watching this, and I looked at both of them, and I said, I'm going to be in the next one.
Nice.
I just knew it. It was just a feeling. It was everything. Like this guy, Jason DeLucia, on this stood out to me. I was like, I really like this guy. And I saw Ken Shamrock on there, and he stood out to me. But I was kind of like, what kind of an attitude? It kind of seemed like he had an attitude, you know, stuff like that. So I was kind of nervous about him, but he stood out to me, right? So a week after I watched this, I went to a karate tournament in Buffalo, New York that a friend of mine was hosting, Kelly and Bill Gallant. And I was judging and refereeing and stuff like that, and one of their friends was there, a guy named Kevin Rogier, who had fought in that first UFC. I just watched this guy fight, and he's a professional kickboxer, and I go in and meet him, and I ask him, you know, hey, I'm only 4 hours away, and I'd like to turn pro. There's nobody around me that could train me in pro kickboxing, so, you know, I'd like to be able to make that leap. He he made an appointment for me to have a kickboxing match right in Bucyrus at the Mad Bull.
Oh, cool.
And then they came and watched me fight. He said, yeah, I'll bring you in. So I go up to Buffalo. And this is January 1st, 1994, New Year's Day. And I go to train with him. And, you know, it's 40 below weather. The snow is, you know, up to your shoulders. You know, things like that.
Perfect training.
Yeah. And turns out he was a bipolar manic depressive with a cocaine addiction. So it was a wild month, you know, being there, basically being homeless, sleeping in the cold, you know, car, you know, finding a place to crash, you know, and this guy checking himself into the loony bin, you know. I shouldn't say it like that, but you know, it's not sensitive to that. But hey, I have mental illness myself, so I'm gonna say loony bin. I feel like going there once in a while. Anyway, his manager Charlie Anslone was like, "Yo, if I would have known you guys had this thing happening where you were coming up, I would have told you not to. He's not the healthiest person in the world." He has since died. He died a few years ago. Lots of health complications, but anyways. Charlie Anslone was his manager that got him in the UFC. He was friends with Art Davey, and he asked if, you know, let's not make this trip useless. Would you like to fight the next UFC? And I said, yep. You know, yep. And a month passes, everything starts selling, and then I'm an alternate on the card for UFC 2.
Nice.
That's coming up in that March, and then 2 weeks before the fight, I get a call from Art Davey telling me that Ken Shamrock just broke his hand in training, and that they need me to replace him. So that I was going to be on the main card.
How much do you weigh at the time?
169.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're not huge, but you're not small either.
I was just a striker. So I train up, just nothing but striking. I'm not even thinking about grappling because I'm like every other idiot. I'm watching it in the first one. Oh, what if you just step side and kick him in the leg and then knee him in the head, I'm like, so I ended up being the first fight of the night. Big John McCarthy's first Let's Get It On. His first match he ever had. So I'm all these like little tidbit, I'm a trivia question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool, right?
Jeopardy.
So and I was the fastest loss of the night. I fought the ninja, Scott Morris, the guy that Pat Smith elbowed the piss out of and had all them cuts. Yeah, that could have been me.
Well, okay.
But I was talking to Pat Smith about that at the after party. And I go, I'm so glad I lost. And he's like, why? He goes, because that could have happened to me. He goes, no, I wouldn't have done that to you. That was personal. There were some racial slurs being said.
Oh, good to know.
Beforehand.
Interesting
And
backstory.
Pat Smith and his camp heard the Texans camp, coming out. So there was some colorful and distasteful words being said.
Yeah.
And he got Octagon Justice.
Yeah, he took care of it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, back when that was still possible.
Right? Yeah. Remember that was no holds barred. I mean, it was bare knuckle.
Right.
And any kind of fight I had outside of that was just like it was underground. I'm not just sound like a cliche, but there was no sanctioned anything when I was fighting.
Could have literally been in a parking garage in the basement.
Yeah, I did some stuff in some guy's gym in Michigan, kind of thing. It was a speakeasy kind of setup.
Luckily, no one had cameras on their cell phones back then.
Right? No, they didn't
exist yet.
Nope. Everything I did was actually before, so I don't have tons of pictures and tons of, I just have what's in my mind. So if I ever get Alzheimer's like my mom, I'm fucked. The stories are gone.
You blurred it out, right?
Yeah,
It'll be there somewhere.
It'll be there somewhere.
It's on here recorded.
It's
Copyright.
recorded?
Yeah, it's here.
Real?
Yeah.
No, it's a funny time to have been alive. Like, my wife doesn't believe any of my stories. I'm like, cell phones didn't exist. No one had a video camera. I swear it happened. No. And then she'll meet someone from that day. But back then, they'll be like, dude, remember that time? She goes, that's real? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't make it up.
Like, even people have there's no even social media to be like someone else to come in and be like, yeah, that happened. Just word of mouth.
So understand this. So before social media and everything started coming around, I just never even told anybody because it wasn't worth saying because nobody would ever fucking believe it.
Yeah.
Fighting, there was no choice. And it wasn't until my fight, because my fight was never aired.
Okay.
It was the only 16-man tournament there was, so the first 8 fights weren't there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first round, the only one that got televised from the first round was Hoist Gracie versus Minoki Ichihara.
Okay. Oh.
So there's that, and then Ken. Oh yeah, but the DVD came out. It was UFC Hits 2 Volume 1 or something like that. That had the special features, and my fight was actually on it.
No way.
Yeah. So then I was able to actually show somebody.
That's cool.
Because there was no other way.
Now we got to buy that on Amazon.
Yeah. I had lost this UFC magazine that I was in and stuff like that. So that was long gone.
Yeah.
It was cool. After the fight, after I went home to the Acme and went to the magazine aisle and found myself on the shelf. That was the first time anything like that ever happened. I was like, wow,
awesome.
That's sweet.
That was weird. But while I was at the week prior to the UFC, I had trained a few times in front of Ken Shamrock a while because he still came to make an appearance and be there. And he recruited Jason DeLucia and I to go be at the Lions Den to go live with him in California. So, and then also I got a offer from Gerard Gordeau to go live with him in The Hague and go with the Dutch kickboxing.
That would be nuts.
Right, so I was talking to Charlie and Charlie Anselo, and I was like, who should I go with? And he's like, knowing your personality and your appetites, you should probably go to California with Ken instead of the Hague.
Yeah.
You know? So I felt right about that, and
Cool though.
took my earnings, and I bought an ounce of weed, I bought some acid, and went on a vision quest to decide what I was going to do. And by the end of it, I knew I needed to move out to California, and
You're good.
I became one of the first members of the Lions then.
Damn.
I mean, it was already going on,
established,
but you had just
were
people who
recruited.
came and go, and then but like Jason DeLucia and I came in, and then we picked up Frank Juarez. Frank Shamrock was my roommate. Jason lived downstairs. We trained together every single day.
That's sweet.
I was only out there for a few months. I ended up getting a really bad neck injury. But, it was hell. We did the 500 squats every other day, 500 squats, 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, run 2 miles. I mean, that was
90s training.
500 squats nonstop. That was hell. But I learned toughness. First thing Ken did to me, he ripped both my ankles. The first submission hold I ever learned and was put in was heel hooks.
Welcome to grappling, motherfucker.
Yeah, he ripped both my ankles, and then I had to go run 2 miles.
Wow.
But Jason DeLucia and I, we didn't have to do the old school initiation, which was fighting Ken full go, pancrase rules for 20 minutes. But we got to watch Frank do it. He had to prove himself. Because Jason and I already fought in the UFC, right? We're already proven fighters, right? We know what's happening. We know. So, but what he does to people coming off the street is it was a 20-minute thing. And see, most people hear now about he had special forces kind of try out, just lots of different. It'd be what we call circuit training.
Sure.
Just longer gut busting circuit training. So it was kind of like a CrossFit marathon. Is basically what he ran people through, and then you'd have to go fight first, 5 minutes, kickboxing 5 minutes, do all these different things. But back then it was just straight 20 minutes, full go. 20, and you had to survive. So Frank comes walking in eating a Carl's Jr. burger, right before the initiation. He's slamming this thing, and he's all strut and stuff. He was huge, this long hair. The dude was just he looked like a native warrior, the dude was a specimen, But first thing Ken does, palms him right smack in the nose, breaks his nose, heads him over, controls his head, snaps him down, knees him in the ribs, breaks his ribs, throws him down, chokes him out.
Okay.
Loud. So in an initiation, there is no tap and let go for a choke. If you're in a choke, you're getting choked out, you're going to be revived, and you're going to start again. Okay. Now, if you're gotta puke, you're going to go puke, and then you come back. Right. So he went and puked up that Carl's Jr. burger. That was within the first 5 minutes, and he finished the rest of this. He got his ass beat, and Jason and I were looking at each other. I'm so glad I fought in the UFC.
So much easier.
I only had to fight for 35 minutes, 35 seconds.
It's way better.
I forget what my match was. It was a 45-second loss. I can't remember. It was something. It might even been less than that. But I was just
I'll take that shit all day.
Because I probably wouldn't have made it, to tell you the truth. I don't know. Because I was 19 years old. I was 18 when I fought in the UFC, and then I turned 19 at the Lions Den. Damn. So. But yeah, that was my nuts. 1994.
That's a good story.
That's fucking bonkers. Yeah, damn. See, that's what we always talk about. Fucking old school training. That's it. Yeah, that's fucking it.
I'll tell you, the toned down version of that just the other day happened to me. We were at jiu-jitsu, and I trained in a place called Ronin.
Oh yeah, Vitor Oliveira.
Yeah, Vitor, yeah. Jake McKenzie also teaches there now. And class was warming up, and Jake's just chilling on the side. And it's a big line, so I just wall sit, I'm pretending like I'm sitting on a chair. I'm just chilling. And he goes, "How long can you do that?" I'm like, "How long do you want me to do it?" And he's like, "That's crazy, it looks hard." I'm like, "It's not, it's comfortable." He goes, "Why?" I'm like, we used to have to do it. And I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, I used to just go to sleep.
Yeah.
But he's like, "What? You used to sleep like that?" I'm like, well, yeah, you're going to be there for a long time. It's weird. What do you mean? Okay. And it's just, just dumb little things like that. And like initiations, you fight for 20 minutes. Yeah, I've had that. People walk in. It's really funny. But everyone has like a story from those times if you trained in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's all these little things that people just don't believe. And you're like, that seemed normal. Isn't that what they did?
Yeah.
I think people just watched Kung Fu movies and said, okay.
No, it really was stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
It was a lot of it, like it was, people don't even know why they were doing what they were doing.
No, they just,
at the point.
they had no idea. I remember one day I got knocked out. I got knocked out twice. I got my nose broken all on the same day. I drove home.
Yeah.
Didn't think twice about it.
Yeah, it was like, if it hurt, beat it harder.
Yeah, you're fine.
That was the science and the medicine.
Yep. You'll adjust.
That's funny.
Now it's fuck that. And everyone's recover nicely and stuff, and that's cool. I like that.
Well, science progresses us, I believe in science.
Absolutely.
Also, a primary topic of our discussion is recovery. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had 18 surgeries, and I've invented, equipment for healing too.
Nice.
Like for recovery of joints and the full body of recovering full range of motion.
Really?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
He's had all sorts of hip stuff and crazy
I've only had 3
madness.
surgeries. So 2 hip surgeries and an eye surgery.
What kind of hip surgery did you have?
Femoral acetabular impingement. So I basically just had nasty bone spurs and deformed. My heads and my femurs were deformed.
Okay.
So they basically went in with a Dremel tool and a staple gun, and just sort of
Kind of like a resurfacing.
Yeah, just shaved it all down, showed my labrums back up, and 8.5 hours worth of surgery. I'm good, man. I had a cataract removed last year.
Cataract. Wow, man, you rarely ever hear about that anymore.
Yeah, everyone kept telling me, "How? You're too young." Everyone else was 80. I'm like,
oh shit, my mom was born with cataracts, and there's no age for that.
Yeah, no, cataracts run in my family. Yeah. So they found it in 2005, and I'm just kind of waiting.
Oh, really?
And it got to the point where light would hit it.
Watching you losing your sight.
Losing my vision, and it was just kind of wax paper eye for a while.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I should probably get that fixed.
Get that taken care of.
Now I have perfect nearsighted vision.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
they just do a lens implant?
Yeah.
There you
Yeah. Hour worth of prep, 5 minutes of surgery.
Right. Yeah, I remember when my mom had both of hers, the lens implants done, and her being able to see afterward was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But she grew up blind.
Oh, see, I was legally blind until I was 6. I just had shitty vision. So
damn. Latchkey kid and blind.
Wow.
Yeah, you had an interesting start.
I get around.
Good stuff.
So after I got injured, I came back home from California and took some time off fighting myself, and then I got married in '97, moved to Ashland, and then I met John Saylor. Yeah, he actually, it was Fritz Goss and Casey Seaborn, weren't they kind of like? I just heard a story the other day about Ronin, kind of like the actual beginnings of Ronin.
I've heard
have connections with Casey Seaborn and Fritz Goss or something like that. Like anybody who's known Fritz Goss has known who John Saylor is.
Yeah.
The Shingitai methodology of training. It used to be called Shingitai Jiu-Jitsu, but because of other jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, we just kind of let's go back to what it really is. It's kind of like the conjugate method. Louis Simmons' Westside Barbell. It's kind of like the conjugate method approach of martial arts.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. See, what Shingitai is John Saylor before the UFC even happened. He was the head coach at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. So you had all these different martial arts. He's a judo coach.
Oh, he's a judo coach. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you had judo, karate, wrestlers. What are the combat sport boxers?
Taekwondo.
And he would have little kind of matches of finding out whose art was the best. So he was already doing it. So what he did was he basically syllabized a traditional mixed martial art. He created a syllabized traditional mixed martial art. So Shingitai Jiu-Jitsu was what we would call a complete martial art. He was trying to bring back real jiu-jitsu, like jiu-jitsu from what it originally was.
Like samurai
striking, throwing, submissions, all of it.
Yeah.
You had to have it all. So he first called it Shingitai Goshin Jitsu, and then he changed it to Shingitai Jiu-Jitsu, just because Jiu-Jitsu, the word of it, was the best description.
Yeah.
And then after the UFC, the BJJ, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, the marketing of that kind of drowned out that idea. So nobody really ever, this isn't Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, this isn't Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so it can't be good.
Right.
Like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a mixed martial artist, Shingitai is a great base. But one thing we realized, in a lot of it, it's not an art, because what we do is we take all things, we have sambo guys, we have judo, we have, kickboxers, all that kind of stuff, but we all learn it. Say, for me, example, my style is K1 kickboxing, stance, striking style mixed with the judo and catch wrestling and, all these kind of things. And I take all these pieces and I put them together. Mm-hmm. And what the Shingitai philosophy is Shin is strengthen the mind, have heart, Gi, technique, have sound technique, and Tai is the body, strong body, flexibility, the ability to continue to train. So the Shingitai philosophy, the Shingitai methodology is good for anyone. It's good for a BJJ. Like, for a BJJ person can use the Shingitai philosophy, the Shingitai methodology within their training. A kickboxer can do the same, MMA guy. So it doesn't really matter what it is. So we kind of dropped the jiu-jitsu part, because it's more of a methodology. It's more of a philosophy and principle than it is. It's about achieving balance.
Sure.
Being a complete martial artist.
Yeah.
So it'll help you if you're lacking in one area, but it's really great about the training is the main core part. It's how we achieve success in training.
That's cool that he got those different Olympians to go at each other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun though, and then just took notes on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that works.
So within the art, it's anything. It's all arts are welcome.
Right. That's cool. With the just the evolution of MMA and stuff, you used to have the specialists and stuff, and now it's turned into everyone just trains MMA or trains. They're just the same fighter virtually almost.
It's almost like a paint by numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowadays,
it's kind of boring sometimes to watch.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
because you can take two equally bad people and they can actually do a good fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because when it comes down to
on the same
banging
level.
around,
except for when they just can't finish each other. I mean, that's But Cody Stevens and I were talking this weekend about it's one thing to win, but to, like Buzz Lightyear says, if you're gonna fall, it's falling with style. But win with style. Set yourself apart. Fucking have great throws. Have great strikes. Yeah. Increase your flexibility. Increase your ability to be acrobatic. Acrobatics, gymnastics to me is absolutely essential.
It's the best strength training there is.
Anybody, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we talk about that shit a lot too.
Dude, look at those gymnasts, man. Those shoulders. If I had those shoulders, I would never have a problem.
They're fucking bulletproof, man.
Rolling balls on their.
It's actually one of my summer projects.
Bulletproof shoulders.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna get back into rings. I'm gonna hang the rings up and actually start working on that. I've been putting together things. I'm a strength and conditioning coach by education as well, and talking about gymnasts. I've been studying a lot of gymnastics, just applying it to strength training, and just pulling out things to mess with.
Oh yeah.
But they're the best, man.
Yeah, I mean, and you really realize this stuff as you get older. And I've had 18 surgeries now. 4 alone were on my spine. So. And they're looking at having to go back in. I was on the way down. I was making an appointment with a pain management doc to start setting up. I have to do the injections first because I'm fused at L4 and L5. Mm-hmm. Now, traditionally, L5S1 and L4 L3, those discs should be the next ones to go. Yeah. Because of the pressure, right? But however, it skipped L3 L4, and I'm bad at L2 L3 now.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm come hell or high water, I'm going to avoid a fusion, So they're talking about doing the cortisone shots and then nerve ablation just to calm the nerve. Like when I was with you last time, when I came and did that private with you, I was in hell.
I remember you.
Okay, I was hurting, and then I went over to Dave Freetag's place over at Grove City, and I rolled over there and I I was so weak. I mean, I got everybody plowed through me. I'm a black belt, and I had blue belts destroy me because my legs were almost useless.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't keep upright. You know, my posture is always like this when I go, and I'm just you know, anytime I would just break, you know, straight up and down, I was out, and I was just going through hell. I was almost in tears. But I get some bad days, and then I was driving for this past year for Grappling Industries, you know, driving the truck with the trailer with the whole production in it.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know, I'm driving all around the country and sitting like this, so my iliopsoas, both my iliopsoas are shortening, and then like where the iliopsoas connects into the spine, you know, because the doctor was like, how in the hell, you know, did you lose L2, L3? And I'm like, well, I've been sitting for a long time, and that thing, and it can pull down. You know what I mean? Because my disc is black, where all my discs are white. That's just I have a black disc between L2 and L3. And I says, that's the only thing I've done different. So sitting for a year is complicated and compromised my spinal health once again. So now that I'm home, I'm done driving. I'm full time. Doing seminar, you know, anytime I can get a seminar, private lessons, I coach Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays up at Strong Style. So I'm staying in Ashland, so I'm splitting my time between my friends in Columbus and Cleveland. You know, so I've got lots of friends down here. You know, Sean Foster, Sarah Foster. You know, Devin Kate, who else? Rich Cook. Dan Siegel, Dave Freitag, Travis Haynes. You know, I'm making Jason Apt. Let's see who I was going to say. Jackson and Sophia. You know, I mean, I just have tons. You know, it's like, and like all the people I'm being friends with are all pretty much. They're my tribe. You know what I mean? And then the same friends that I have up in, you know, the friends I have in Cleveland. Any of you guys would probably enjoy them too. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
I gotta go. Get my water.
Cool.
Okay. I'll be back in a little bit.
All right.
Keep talking.
We'll just keep it kicking.
Keep it going,
just
guys.
come back in. Cool.
Next time you come down, we should work together.
Okay.
I got all the strength and conditioning.
Yeah, and I'll show you. Today I'll show you the video of what I got, and then I'll bring down what I got, or I'll show you how to make what I got, and maybe because I'm trying to figure out how to launch it. I haven't done an LLC. I don't have.
I'm literally about to do that stuff.
Oh, what do you call it? I got to do a patent pending, stuff like that.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
Waiting to launch it. So, but Louis Simmons at Westside's I've already had him in his gym. These things I had him in his gym. He's like, yeah, these are fucking great. You know?
Well, Louis tells you they're legit. You know they're legit.
And then I had Dave Tate from EliteFitnessSystems.com. He was working on. He was like, "Where'd you get these from?" I go, "I made them." He goes, "I want these on my shelf."
Hell yeah.
You know, so I got some beta. I did some beta tests.
You got the right people
place
telling you
I've given them to chiropractors to try. You know, everybody, and they're like, "Oh my God, nothing's like." Louis said, nothing shocked his shoulders because he just had shoulder replacement surgery. He says he's had nothing that could shock his shoulders as good as what these things did.
Dude.
So
I look forward to that.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I'll be back in a little while.
Yes, we'll be here. We're chilling. We got time.
You can find the stuff, but
there's
more coffee. Feel free to
actually,
drink it if you don't want to sleep for the next 3 days.
Yeah, fuck that.
Some gifts for you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
He's Slipper Santa, so he gives everyone slippers whenever he comes by. So he just always got mad slippers. So
thank you.
And then got some Korean instant coffee. It should taste super good. So if you ever need to pick you up on the go,
sweet,
you're good. So yeah, back to the origins. Need more? You good?
No, I'm good.
Cool.
I had that bang right before I came.
Oh yeah, it's just
got my.
Catch you later, dude. We'll be here. But yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for doing it. Love it. Your background, like, when did grappling start to take over for you? Like, when did that really start to shift?
The second I was choked.
Yeah.
In the UFC, you know, and then moving in with Ken Shamrock, that was my first thing. It was catch wrestling, you know, Fujiwara Gumi stuff, you know, the stuff that you see, like people posting, like old Japanese people doing stuff in the ring with Speedos on. Well, that's the lineage, you know, that's the kind of stuff I was learning. And then I got to John Saylor and became a judo black belt under him, and the Shingitai.
Yeah, that methodology.
Black belt.
So excellent.
Became a black belt with him. And John is the one that really brought it, because his judo is the old school judo. Mm-hmm. It was heavy Newaza. There's the Gracie Challenge came to the Olympic Training Center.
Yeah.
And the footage of him and Horian grappling never made the cut.
Okay. For a reason.
Because the Gracies did not win that day with him, and he had a paralyzed shoulder to boot. So he was fighting Horian Gracie with a paralyzed shoulder and didn't lose.
And that's fucking tight.
I'm not saying he won, I'm just saying he didn't lose. He doesn't like the story being told because, but you know what? Sure. The story needs to be told.
Yeah, that's one that needs to be told.
They grappled twice, and neither time did either one of them tap each other out. And like I said, John has a paralyzed shoulder at that point.
Yeah.
He was fighting with one fucking arm.
Fighting Horian Gracie?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Yeah.
But no, it's definitely legit. But people don't realize, there's a lot of the Shingitai history. We started the Arnold Classic grappling championship.
Yeah.
I fought in that, and I took second place. That was the year 2000.
Yeah.
When we did that.
When did
Casey Seabond was one of my main training partners at John's place. We, for the first few years, me and Casey were always training together.
So would you say the way the UFC marketed BJJ is kind of what snuffed that out?
Well, I mean, the first few UFCs were a ad campaign for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
Gracie's had the best marketing plan ever.
Yeah.
I'm still friends with Art Davey to this day, and Art always said, Art didn't give a shit what style was the best. Mm-hmm. Like who was going to win.
Yeah.
He didn't care if Hoist was going to win or not. He just wanted to see what the truth, what was the truth. And Horian was more worried about, So the first two were the cards were stacked in Hoist's favor to make it a nice streamlined. And it was a great infomercial.
Yeah.
For the UFCs. Because like if you can think back, the evolution of all this, you start seeing it's no longer just Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and then all of a sudden you're starting to realize there's other Jiu-Jitsus in Brazil. Then it becomes Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you got all these different people.
Yeah.
Remember when Marco Ruas came in?
Uh-huh.
To me, Marco Ruas is Ken Shamrock and Marco Ruas are the two first prototypes of MMA today.
Okay.
Your first well-rounded fighters. Hoist is, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was primarily ground game.
Yep.
There was a couple strikes just to
get there,
close the distance, and then never a huge throw. It was always just
enough,
a sagging trip.
Yeah,
kind of just to get the guy to trip.
Enough to be on top.
Right. So, it's what was I saying? I always lose my train of thought every once in a while.
Me too. It's all good.
Hoist. Oh yeah. So you have all these different jiu-jitsus now, and people didn't realize that, and even Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has been drowned out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the market word. If you don't have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under your belt, then and I held off for a long time.
Sure.
Because I was team Ken Shamrock.
Right.
I was team Lions Den.
Loyal to
so
that.
Even though I trained with a ton of BJJ guys, I had tons of training partners that I spent most of my time with. Jason Gotze and Chris Lytle being one of them. Mm-hmm. Jason Gotze learned from Hicks on Gracie.
Right.
He moved out to California, lived in an alley, in his car and behind the dojo, and trained with Hicks on. So in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was training with Jason Gotze and Chris Lytle. We were all training partners getting ready for Pancrase. And because I was supposed to fight in Pancrase with Ken, but I got injured, boom. Mm-hmm. So I went back and I met with a lady named Phyllis Lee. She's ex-Pac's mom.
Okay.
She adopted him as a kid, got him. She's an old pro wrestler.
Okay.
Female pro wrestler. And she had ties to Pancrase. She was Dan Severn's manager, my manager, Shoni Carter's manager, Jason Gotze's and Chris Lytle's manager in the beginning.
That's awesome.
I fought in Pancrase, trained with Jason Gotze, fought Minoru Suzuki in Pancrase. And then 2000, after my fight in Pancrase in 2000, I kind of hit a dry spell. So I was waiting for a fight in Venezuela, and I also, at the time, I was waiting to go in the military. I was signed up for the Air Force, and I actually was supposed to swear in on September 11th, 2001.
Okay, yeah.
But planes were going into the buildings that morning, so I actually swore on September 12th, 2001, and then went into the military January 2nd. But in between my enlistment, because that was a delayed entry, I had a way out. But I didn't want a way out. But if I were to get this fight in Venezuela, blah, blah, blah. So my manager says in October I can have this fight, blah, blah, blah. Called my recruiter. I'm like, is there any chance that I would get my slot? Because I was guaranteed position into what's called combat control, the special forces of the Air Force.
Okay.
So I was trying to go into that, and he said, yeah, no, he was being a dickhead. He was being a selfish dickhead. He knew I wasn't going to go in at that time. But just to be on the safe side, he didn't want to lose me because he knew if I would have done this thing and won, I would have been going to Pride. I would have had a Pride contract. Yeah. So my training partner from Indiana, what's his name? Alex Steele, the Brazilian killer. Okay, he won the whole tournament. And at the time, I was, tapping him,
painful.
I was helping with him, teaching him submission wrestling,
Aiding him along.
Yeah, and he went up and won the whole fucking thing. Oh, shit.
Motherfucker.
But then again, maybe I would have had a bad
show.
It doesn't matter. I don't know. I think I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, I think so.
But I ended up joining the military, came in January 8th, 2002. Lived in Okinawa, Japan for 3 years. Did the tsunami relief in 2005. I was there in Jakarta, Sumatra, Thailand, and Sri Lanka, helping out that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Got to see the world in many different ways. Been to Beirut, France, Germany. It's really cool. I've been able to see the world, and because of that, I know that our society's frame of mind and point of view isn't all that there is, and it's not the only good thing that exists.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I love my country. I love America.
Absolutely.
And I love the people in it, but I'm not into this pseudo stereotyped out caricature of what people think patriotism is. No, my patriotism is my loyalty to my brothers and sisters on this planet.
Absolutely.
And then in this country.
But I think probably what international language would be kindness. I'm sure you encountered kindness fucking everywhere you went in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah, dude. More so than not.
I imagine so.
Even in heinous places.
Yeah.
People, the more heinous of a place you go, the more real people are.
Yeah, I imagine.
Their ego's gone. They're just
stripped down.
Yeah, because it's just that's not even, bullshit's not even a concern to them.
Yeah.
Their concern is finding fucking water for the day.
Exactly. Fuck yeah.
Being in the tsunami and seeing all these fuckers smiling and being so kind to me after everything was just fucking destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, wow, it turned my head, dude.
It shifts your perspective.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It started the turning of the worm in my head. I became very less political. I was kind of like super conservative, right wing kind of thing. I'm not saying I'm anything. I'm not saying. My mind is more, and my heart is more liberal as far as social things. Fiscally conservative kind of thing.
Yes, people like money, and
I like
you want to help
balance.
people. Yeah, you want to help people out and be taken care of, and you're good.
To be one or the other is out of balance.
Yeah,
you got to go in the middle. The golden mean that Aristotle, and Socrates were talking about it. It's not being turned into gold. Like the alchemists.
Right.
The Renaissance. It wasn't about turning lead into gold. It was about turning us into gold, and it's finding the golden mean of our life, and what that is the balance.
Which I think society has got thrown to the wind, or at least our society.
It has. That's why anytime it's out of balance is when we find any kind of discord and disharmony. So.
Yeah.
But we're so far, who knows what the fuck the balance even what it can look like at this point.
Right.
It's almost like, there just has to be a catastrophe to take place.
Almost.
Just to hit a reset button.
Yeah.
To where it destroys all ego.
Yeah.
And it just comes back down. Because without ego, all there is love, if you think about it. Have you ever had a near-death experience? Like you think you're about to die? You honest to God thought you were about to die?
Yeah.
What mattered at that moment?
That was me, my family.
Exactly.
Snapped
that's exactly
my mother,
right.
my father. Yeah, exactly.
I've had a few near-death experiences, and it always came down to the family and love.
Yep.
My family and love. That's all that fucking mattered.
Yep.
And forgiveness.
Yeah.
I'm forgiving and I'm loving, and everything in that moment, nothing fucking matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And then experiencing other people's death. Like I lost best friends, stuff like that. That shook it, and I was like, okay, this is what matters. That's the only fucking thing that matters. Like, you know, like the only reason we do, I think, martial arts is like to polish all the good stuff, right? Like to help each other out. You know. Yeah, I've seen some weird shit, but like it's always been balanced out by better shit in martial arts and stuff like that. Or if you look for the good stuff, I think. You know, you can always find good shit. You can always find bad shit too.
Yeah, but this is a portal. Yeah, I mean, I've had some heinous shit happen to me from the martial arts. Not from martial arts, but from the people within it. And, you know, and some of the most amazing things too. Yeah. But yeah, it's an ultimate network. I mean, it opens you up to a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. I think like it's just something as like a society, we lack communication, right? So again, just no cell phones, no anything. You come and you fight someone, like that's the most genuine connection I think you can make with someone.
And you're also present. I mean, grappling is my form of meditation.
Yeah.
Because I'm not thinking about anything but that, you know. And I come from a time where, you know, like we would grapple with one person for an hour straight. Yeah. You know, keeping a coffee talk pace, but just constantly just flowing and going and flowing.
The flow state, That was something I spent a lot of time on. It's like coming up, there's some emphasis on like the flow state, just like the continuation of movement, the continuation of the energy and stuff like that. So,
when I had a school out in Okinawa, I would put my lateralis CD in the background, and all they would do just roll for the whole time to the thing. And there was times I was just so zoned out and just in this fucking state of mind. I was just like, wow, and I was just. New submissions were just coming out of me, you know. I mean, it's like,
but you weren't struggling at all.
Yeah, everything was just pure flow.
Yeah, that's hard to portray to people early on, you know, or people who don't do jiu-jitsu or grappling of any sort. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're like, you don't understand, man. But what do you think, like, the future of grappling is? Like, or grappling or fighting? Or do you think it's going to come back to pancrase rules and style versus style? Or is it going to come into something else? Or, like, what do you think it's going to be?
I don't know if we could ever go back to style versus style again. Like, you know, karate versus judo. You know, that kind of thing. I mean, it's even like BJJ team versus BJJ team. I don't know. There needs to be more like the IFL was a good idea, something along those lines. I really like the idea of like quintet, you know, style type stuff, like getting teams.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like to more so match like stylistic matchups and stuff like that. Yeah.
And you know, people like make fun of like the combat jiu-jitsu, something. Oh, slapping. Well, you dumbasses have never, because it's not about fingers slapping the face. It's a palm heel.
Opening something up.
I mean, you can knock somebody out faster with a palm heel strike than you can with a closed fist.
Fuck
anyway. And pancrase rules, I believe, was an awesome set of rules. Even being able to grab the rope to save yourself, because it made it interesting.
That is.
It was, I would say, old school pancrase rules from the early 90s. The open hand strikes, punch into the body, kicking, kneeing everywhere, shin pad, knee pad, instep pad style, and being able to grab the ropes to break up to 5 times was a good. Yeah. That you had to be in shape.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know, and it's a really cool. I don't know. It was a gentleman's sport.
Yeah.
It was a gentleman's MMA. It was really awesome. Yeah. But you know, speaking of the striking and stuff in jiu-jitsu, you know, like the jiu-jitsu I learned was NHP jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing no striking, just submission, you know, where you can dedicate all 4 limbs to one submission hold, you know what I mean? Where everything I did with it was striking. So as I'm coming back into everything and teaching, it's all this no striking stuff. So I've actually had to evolve a little bit and develop my game to actually hold my own, because if we're allowed to strike, I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a striking jiu-jitsu match, I guarantee you I can beat a lot more people
than without it.
Right, and then it starts evening out when I have to do just straight jiu-jitsu. So I have to catch up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's new tactics, new ways, you know. I got my black belt last year under Carlos Catania. I started out as a brown belt under evaluation and continued the evaluations, and then was finally awarded my black belt.
That's awesome.
Back in that, so I have a judo black belt, taekwondo black belt, BJJ black belt. Now, when I'm talking to BJJ guys about catch wrestling and about judo and about leg locks, I can say, look, I understand exactly. You know what I mean? It gives me some credibility, which I always had the credibility.
Yeah. So do you think it's, as like a coach and you're traveling and stuff now, do you think you feel that you like need a resume? Like, do you feel like you need like a shakedown of everything?
See, the only thing I haven't done is register with the IBJJF.
Yeah.
And
so how do you feel about that type of thing, like having a body like that?
It's the same problem as the IJF.
Yeah.
You know, that it's fucking over the art.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and you are having somebody who's telling you when and when or you can or cannot have a stripe, and that this organization is the only organization that should matter.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
up. That.
Are they in the Olympics yet? No. Okay. At least the IJF, is associated with that, right? But
it's like, shut up.
I might have to. The only thing that's stopping me literally from doing it, and it's been a year, is just simply the money.
Sure.
Just the thought of renewing something, and it's like, Carlos Catania, like he said, it was just like, this is, he gave me my black belt. I don't need to have some other person pay someone say
that you never has seen you grapple a day in
never
your life.
even going to meet me or know me or whatever. And it's like that to me is a red flag of marketing and monopolizing and that kind of bullshit.
Yep.
And I may never do it. I might do it in 10 years, and that'll
just
still
hold
make
it
me
off.
it'll still make me a zero-striped black belt.
Yeah.
And I'll die before I could even get a stripe put on there.
And you'll be fucking happy about it. You don't give a shit.
The only thing I can see I would need it for now at this point is if I had my own school, my own students under me, and them getting...
They wanted to go do that.
Do the IBJJF.
But even then, I feel like that straight path to like, oh, we're IBJJF gym, that's it. All right, cool, it's good. I feel like that's dying off. Like,
yeah, it needs to, because we got grappling industries. You have as another option now.
Yeah, with way better
that's
rules.
growing so big. Yeah,
way better rules.
I probably wouldn't have worked for them if they would have had
shitty rules.
You know what I mean? No, honestly, I really do believe grappling industries is the best out there.
Yeah.
Fuji's another really good one with Tim Morthland.
I've competed with both of them. Both are freaking primo. Like, I've competed in fucking Nagas and all those stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like, primo fucking organization too. Like, that's the thing I think that used to separate the IBJJF was like their organization or they said they were organized or whatever.
Right.
Like now, grappling industries has names, computers. You just type in your name, you're good to go. You know exactly when you're fighting.
Yeah, with the smooth system.
It's still not the case. IBJJF, like.
I prefer the non. I'm always an outlier. I'm always misfit.
Naturally.
I came up in the punk rock.
Yeah.
The punkers. It wasn't like by choice. It was just simply when you're pushed away from all the cliques and circles, you end up in the
I think
in the alternative scene.
Yeah, and that's what I found. Just like spending as much time on meth or whatever, like just seeing the people that come in and out, like. Outcasts a little bit here and there, but outcasts find their spot in martial arts more often than not. Like,
I found a home.
Yeah, I found mine. Like, I'm fucking weird.
Well, the thing about it is, like, whatever clothes you were wearing on the outside, even if you're all wearing a gi. This is where I say like it's like masonry. You take off your street clothes, you put on some nice clothes to go to your meetings. Where everybody's the reason for the change of clothing is the symbology of. Everybody's the same. No matter if that person comes in as a doctor, as a couch potato, or whatever clothes you wear as your profession, it doesn't matter. What matters is you are all the same here, and it's imposed upon your mind that you are all the same, even outside of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't see that, you're missing the point.
You're missing the major key.
So and it's a place where you put the world behind you, and everybody's there for each other or for themselves. Even if you're there for yourself, you're still helping somebody else.
Absolutely.
Just by being there.
Yep. Even just being a drill
partner.
partner.
You can be selfish as hell, and but then it's I don't know. This has been a wild ride. It's a
Yeah.
good situation. I've seen good and bad and all kinds of stuff. Lately, it's just been meeting great people.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for Emil Fisher, I would have never met any of you guys.
That's true.
Because he literally, Wyatt Routson said, hey, you're wanting to do leg locks, you should meet Sean Daugherty.
I remember I had a conversation with Emil at some fucking random ass tournament. I was like, what's up, man? Leg locks are looking great. He's like, yep, we're working with Sean. I'm like, Sean. I thought he was talking about Sean Foster, and I was like, well, Sean Foster, like, when did he get really good at leg locks? And
See, you had no idea who I was, right?
Yeah, he mentioned your name. I was like, oh, cool. And then I looked you up on Facebook and shit.
And I'm the first Ohioan to ever fight.
Yeah, see?
In the UFC or in the MMA altogether, but nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Yeah. You gotta spread the knowledge.
So, you know, he and I met in 2016, and then me, him, Wyatt, John Gunther, we all kind of had like a regular Sunday thing going on.
Dude, Sunday open mat, I swear to Christ, and grappling are like the key to everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always called them like beat labs, you know, like from Step Brothers. You know. Yeah, and then Travis Haynes, he named his gym Mat Lab. And I'm like, that's fucking perfect. I should have thought of the name Mat Lab. Yeah, that was good, because that's way better than beat lab, because we're not really making beats, you know. But, no, kudos to you, Travis. You know, great fucking name of a gym. Matter of fact, you know, a lot of my friends are there. You know, Rich Cook is there, Dirk Morrison, Evan Rogers, and Sid Morrison. You know, so like all those, the tattoo.
Yeah, the tat crew.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually start going there too.
Tight,
you know,
I haven't had too much of an opportunity to train with Travis, but there was one time he was teaching
I hear
class.
nothing but good things about him, man.
He's an encyclopedia. Like, I took one class with him, and he changed like 4 different things about arm bars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Preston Saunders is there as well. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah. I feel like the Midwest, and Ohio in particular, has started to become a hotbed for jiu-jitsu in particular, but like grappling.
I think Columbus, I would even say, is bigger than Cleveland too. Yeah. Like it's more happening down here.
With Ohio State, like the influx.
Strong style is almost like the monopoly up in Cleveland. I mean, you have a bunch. You have Saz, you have you know, all those different things, but like as far as MMA, the premier is the strong style.
Yeah.
It's been going since 1994.
Yeah, like if you know anything about UFC, you've heard strong style somewhere.
Right. You know, so like for me, strong style is home. Everything about it screams home to me. Like Marcus Marinelli, the owner, he was, you know, one of Louis Simmons' elite lifters, you know, at Westside Barbell. So when I first got with John, the first person John Saylor introduced me to, he brought me down here to meet Louis Simmons back in 1997 or 98. So I've been studying Westside methodologies and training, and I've always, my whole like major martial arts career has been training with the conjugate method. Yeah. You know, and Louis' tutelage. Now I'm not a Westside Barbell powerlifter by any means, no, but I'm more on the rehab side of things and longevity, you know, things like that. But so you got, and then also Marcus trained under Bart Vale and under the Fujiwara Gumi system, just like Ken. Ken learned from Bart Vale and brought him into the Fujiwara Gumi. Right. So there's Ken, or you know, the Fujiwara Gumi, Westside Barbell connection with Marcus, and he and I we met. I was actually going to fight there in 2010 before I had to get my. I was on team, and then I got my neck surgery, and I'm off team. Then I had to get my lower back done twice. So 3 times actually. three surgeries on the lower back. Jesus. So I'm fused in my neck and down here. So I've been in strong style since 2010, one way or another, as a coach or a fighter. For 4 years, I took some time off to go back to college. Got my degree in social entrepreneurship.
Super cool.
You know, social enterprise and business management.
That's awesome.
Marketing.
Most excellent.
So I'm trying to be well-rounded.
Yeah. I think that's the goal. Like, again, balance, right?
Yeah.
You just want to come back, find some balance somewhere.
And I never want to be one thing.
Yeah. You never want to be...
You know, people are like, oh, leg locks. Hey, man, I'm more than leg locks, bro.
Yeah, I feel like today we're talking about, like, mount shit for you, just, like, arm bars, whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, you know, like, I know your leg locks are good, but I was watching all your, like, arm bar stuff, like, that fucking next level stuff, too. I know leg locks are very hot right now. Leg locks are so hot right now.
I predicted that, too. I predicted judo becoming big, and I predicted leg locks.
Yeah.
becoming very big before it ever happened.
Before it was popping off.
Yeah, man. But I'm just a dumbass. I started the punch. I could not. But another thing that stopped me was like nobody knew who I was. So it was the judo and leg lock back to back kind of thing that was like prodding me. Like, this is your fucking bread and butter.
Yeah, dude. Like, get out there.
I'm not an Olympic judoka or anything, but I am like a wazashi. I'm a technician.
Yeah.
I understand
how
it works and how to give you. I'm really good at giving life hacks.
Yeah.
That's what I call a lot of my tricks and stuff. The stuff
Dude,
I teach is just life hacks.
After the private that we did, I immediately went and won stuff with the stuff that you
That's
taught.
awesome.
Like, it was immediate.
That makes me so happy.
It was fucking immediate.
Yeah. I mean, it's just little tiny tweaks. That you need.
It literally clicked in that last piece and was next level shit immediately.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, that's the best part of it.
Because I struggled. Granted, it was leg locks at the time, but even then, it tied back into a lot of like armbar stuff for me, and it like connected dots there. It was
right, and I don't have a system.
Right.
If anything, it's more the Japanese word takemusu, which is spontaneity. I teach in spontaneity. I learn spontaneity. And my style is spontaneity. I have an answer innately for whatever you give me.
I feel when I teach that it's very similar and shit like that. Like, I'm glad that there's someone else to back that up. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, Jesus Christ, is all this random stuff just fucking, Is that how it's supposed to be, or is that okay? Not that I need like ask permission or anything, but like, I'm glad that you're reinforcing that a little bit.
Jason Gotze said, you take an elephant gun squirrel hunting, and if it can beat an elephant, it can beat a squirrel. That was one saying. And another he teaches with a shotgun.
Okay.
Shotgun information, and something hits. Little stick. You give 1,000 options, and I like this one. Okay, let's take that and
let's
go
drill that path. Yeah,
and then go drill that. But my brain is just constantly. It's almost like DMT.
It's fucking spiraling off.
Everything is anything.
That's funny.
I'm going in and out of like.
I'm finishing a book. It's called Food of the Gods by Terrence McKenna. It's about
psilocybin mushroom.
his connection with that, like just basically like the doubling of the unexplained, doubling of the human brain size over a short period of time.
Exactly.
The disconnection there.
Well, and now we learn through neuroscience that there is a plasticity effect that takes place where it actually can heal the brain of like with plaque. Dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. And that runs in my family. So, you best believe I microdose.
Fuck yeah. Especially when didn't Denver just legalize it? Decriminalize it. Yeah. So, see, that's, I think, an insane first step. Like, I think that's...
Dude, if it grows and it doesn't kill you, you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's just life. That's living in accordance with nature, like, you know what I mean?
If we have a receptor for it, or some form of positive thing happens, it's the zealous, it's the religious, that tend to have the boogeyman effect. It's all about.
That was literally with them. Like just talking about how like the dominator cults formed early on and started to just get rid of that type of thing in society. And
it's almost like a Taliban. It's like like in America, it's almost like, dare I say, like a Christian Taliban. No, I used to be a Christian, and I have tons of Christian friends that are very balanced. And they're more like libertarians or something. They live and let live. Then there's those who really want to inflict their beliefs, which are just belief, not scientifically based. I'm not going to get into details about anything, but there's just a general kind of our way is the right way, God's way is this. Well, I don't believe in God, so please don't. This isn't science. This isn't actual fact stuff. These are beliefs that you're passing off to law.
Don't stuff it down the throat.
Right. And even when I was a Christian, I didn't believe in that.
I
knew that somebody else didn't have my belief, and they didn't. They weren't obligated. The God I worship taught me to not force anybody else to live according to the way that I live. That's just foolish. So when it comes to a lot of things in America, things are swayed. Now you have the religious, but you also have those who are in power. Corporations who are going to stop things. Oh, that one little plant that you can just go pick and eat. And I have this pill that says it does the same thing. It costs $1,000. What do you think they're going to do? That was the same thing behind marijuana. Anything that's labeled self-care, that can be considered self-care, is going to be illegal. It's trying to be legalized by lobbyists.
Yeah. I mean, look at the early on prohibition with alcohol. Like, how it was, a lot was, I mean, the prohibition with marijuana is a lot of it's baked in racism. Like, it's all of it's, I mean, most of it is.
Mexican, like, between for Mexicans and African Americans.
Yeah, like, it's
that's what it was targeting.
Like, literally, just from,
and
like,
even
that's
in
like
the jazz time.
Yeah, exactly. I just watched something like Robert Johnson, like, a little documentary about him, but, like, yeah, the illicit activity, they tried to just slapped it on it, and there was nothing was necessarily true about it, but people ate that shit up. So.
It's sick, man. It's and that's another thing. Like, we never. I'm probably not going to go there. He might lose followers.
We'd fucking do it.
No, I was just telling some of this, because I learned in college, I was heavy into ethics and philosophy, and liberation theology really covered, how we had slavery in America. Mm-hmm. Most Christian people will not find it right to own a slave. Right. And a lot of them found it appalling, but you teach anybody who believes in God, no matter what religion they are, that God is mandating something, that it's part of God's plan to do a certain thing.
But and then there's zero question about it a lot of times. Like,
because now your faith is being questioned.
Yeah. Yep.
So now you're looking on eternal levels of judgment versus just social levels of judgment. So it was through Christianity that it was able to be used. That it was even able to happen. And then they taught Christianity to the slaves, like a certain version that this is how it is. That their reward will be later. Yeah. They need to be subservient to their masters. And it's like, you kidding me.
What's dog? You back?
So there's just so many ways that religion has shaped America, and when people do say, America's a Christian nation, well, not constitutionally, but not denotationally, but connotationally, it has become because of the people that are screaming the loudest.
Yeah, I agree.
And forming things.
Absolutely. Mike's back. What's up, dog?
Back. What's happening?
I personally rather see a Buddhist nation.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
But what throws me off, I said Christian Taliban. Like Buddhism and Hinduism, I didn't know this until I got in the military, that they had terrorists too.
Sure.
You like the Dalai Lama talk about how Buddhist terrorists are total bullshit. He's like, they're not Buddhist, goddamn.
Yeah, right. Well, like, and anyone will say that. The Muslims say, well, the terrorists aren't Muslim. Christians will say that that's not Christian. Things like that.
Take everything right.
And the Hindus have the Tamil tigers. Never fucking knew. I'm like, how does Hinduism and they don't even fucking eat cows, man. They don't kill shit, and Buddhists, everything is so, like, how in the fuck can you radicalize something like that?
I feel like someone will find a way with anything.
Well, look at the straight edge kids, like taking veganism to this other level.
To the
like
straight edge.
Yeah, so, that got radicalized to violence.
Yeah.
Beat you up if you do drugs.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, well, I guess sounds like I missed some fun.
We were just talking about the evolution of shit, I guess, like the evolution of fighting and whatnot, and that kind of got into fucking other stuff.
The evolution of everything.
Yeah. Fucking society. It's all this. Yeah, we're talking about balance and shit. Come back to balance and whatnot.
Alright.
I feel like
Speaking of balance, my daughter had a spontaneous invite to a friend's house.
Yeah.
She was going to be here all night tonight, but...
dang.
Yeah, which would have been cool, because she would have jumped in a train.
Awesome. But, she's got mad triangles.
She's badass, dude, yeah.
How old is she?
She's 10.
10?
Yeah, she's awesome. She's stupid strong. We rolled the other day, and then she was pinning me. She's like 62-pound, 10-year-old. She's like, nope, you're not moving, Pop. I'm going to set this up. You're about to be on guard. I'm like, okay.
That's always the day.
Yeah. No, I told you how she challenged me for that fight.
Which one?
No, when she turns 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Flat out. She's like, when I'm 15, we fight.
Why was, 15 the number there?
I don't know why she picked 15.
Because it's close.
Yeah, we're throwing down.
It's generally close.
Yeah, but she's like, jiu-jitsu rules. I'm like, okay, whatever that means.
Jiu-jitsu rules.
Yeah, we're talking about it's like combat jiu-jitsu and just like jiu-jitsu with striking and just like the difference between like pure grappling per se and then like combat jiu-jitsu.
That is a fun controversy because wouldn't Elio Gracie say jiu-jitsu has striking?
Yeah.
You take the striking out, it's not jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that's part of setting up the submission and things like that. Open hands, smack. Watch any greasy challenge. I mean, you're looking at greasy jiu-jitsu. You're striking.
Well, it's sport versus reality, right?
Right. It's the bringing. I don't even know how did it change?
Sport.
I mean, well, you know what it is? Insurance.
Insurance
for competitions. Insurance for competitions probably shaped.
Like, all right, take strikes out immediately.
What you can do.
That shapes a lot of what you have, like what schools do.
That's
what
true.
You can get insurance on.
I mean, heel hooks were like a lot of in the beginning of the tournaments. Heel hooks were abandoned because of insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because you get hurt.
They were just like, because like people were having to pay out with the injury.
Yeah.
When there was heel hook, because if you didn't know how to defend a heel hook or what a heel hook was, and you got put in it, you're probably losing a knee or an ankle that day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the gap and the knowledge gap, if you don't know what it is, or if you just learned it, you don't understand that you're going to shred someone's leg.
Right. Yeah, matter of fact, one of the matches I won in the Arnold Classic, I was inverted doing a heel hook, and the guy said, I didn't even know you could get it from there. He was standing up, and I was
underneath,
Yeah, thank you, Gary Tonin. We know that's a common issue now.
Oh my God. All this stuff everybody's doing with the leg locks, I was doing back then.
Yep.
It's nothing new.
Yeah.
But it's so hot. But I literally am here, but nobody knows. Literally, again, nobody knows.
That's like the up and down of social media being around and not being around. Like you started releasing videos 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like some weird shit like that. Like
it's a timing thing.
It is, yeah.
No, it really is. Because there's things like I've released like before, like in 2016, I was just coming in, like I wasn't getting any hits. Like I've seen a progress from 2016 till now. Mm-hmm. And like now I'll release something, like I'll post something, and then overnight there'll be like 3,000 hits. Whereas the first time I released it was only 300 hits.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think changed over just that period of time?
Emil Fisher's big mouth.
Oh, okay.
Spreading your name.
He was awesome. We worked things out. It was just like this is actually an iron sharpens iron bartering kind of thing. I've trained thousands of hours with him, like since 2016. I've spent so much time with him. The only other person that's had more time one-on-one with me is Joel Bain, the guy who my student who runs the Snake Pit USA, the catch wrestling thing. But as far as leg locks are concerned, like Joel Bain, he's my well-rounded student. We were together for 2 years, every single day training together. I mean, he was always my right-hand man, my team captain guy. I mean, I gave him everything of mine. Like anything I had, I gave to him. Now with Emil, he specifically wanted leg locks. So with Emil, since 2016, I've spent at least 1,000 hours, on leg locks with him, conceptual and drilling. Now Pablo Castro is his main BJJ coach. Pablo's his main overall guy. Things like that. I'm just his, we're friends and his thing. But through his journalism and things like that and his following, he set me up. He's made me a few $1,000s. And that he introduced me to Sean Foster, which is, you see this.
Yeah.
He's the reason why Emil Fisher is why I'm right here.
Yeah,
specifically,
we're talking today,
being here right now.
I remember him dropping your name in conversation, and it literally was in the back of my head for a long time because I think I just lost my footlock or something, and I was like, he's like, oh yeah, working on my footlocks with Sean. I'm like, I gotta get with him. Fuck.
Well, we were talking about that once, about how you and I have been this close to knowing each other for about 15 years.
Yeah.
The orbits are still right there. Also, changed them finally.
Vesica
Pisces.
Yeah, like through martial arts and through family.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Both training and through family.
Really, that's cool.
Yeah, like my sister's best friend, something. There. Like really I saw him in a family picture with other families. What the fuck are you doing there, dude?
My mom's house.
Did you Photoshop this as a joke?
Yeah. So it's funny how that works. We all know each other somehow, but it's especially in the martial arts community. In all different martial arts, we're all this close to being.
And that's probably something too. I'm one away from being noticed.
one piece of content or one anything like.
Well, you're on one piece of content and being noticed.
That'd be fucking tight. Yeah, anyone listening, launch us all. Just go ahead and just get us kicking.
There you go.
I think, like we talked about before, like social media being a tool and then also like a weapon if you decide to weaponize it and be a dick about stuff. But like, other than that, you're spreading content. I think jiu-jitsu and grappling has like the best base of that on social media, like in terms of like other arts, like Takwondo or anything else, you know, like talk about that. But I think it gives it's fair. It gives everyone the opportunity to start spitting stuff out.
Yeah.
Like,
and you realize it's a small world. I mean,
you
know, I met so many people just by introduction. Like, Sean, you meet this one? Oh yeah, hey. It was really cool. My first podcast I ever did was on mat therapy, which is Donna Gonzalez and Becky Dominguez. I don't think they're any longer doing it, but it was in Joey Diaz's studio.
That's
but yeah, it was the 10th Planet ladies they were doing some really cool shit on there. And then another guy named Mark Torius did his podcast. What is it called? Knocking the Cage, I think his was called.
Something I remember reading them.
That was pretty cool. But just slowly but surely, I started doing other podcasts and things like that. It has to. You just got to throw 1,000 pokers into the fire.
Back to shotgun approach again.
Just see where something lands. Throw 1,000 punches and hope
One
lands. But I used to be more of the one shot, one kill. But I'm realizing that just takes too long, and it's just in this realm, it's just better just to
there's many different
connect to different things. I've got people friend requesting me that have nothing to do with martial arts because of other things that I've said or done or whatever, like maybe in the psychedelic realm of things or philosophical side of things. Or
that's where that's your brand awareness. Your brand awareness is starting to kick off and really starting to bloom up. So.
Yeah, and I'm more of the hippie type. I'm not the.
I'm from
the rogue. America. Kill, eat everything. I'm more of I'm not even into competition. I don't care. I don't want to be bothered by the fuss.
Yeah.
I'll train people for competition. That means I don't have to. The only time I get stressed out for a competition is when I'm coaching. Ringside. That's it.
Yeah.
Even that, though, that's 10 times more fun than anything else in life. Getting stressed out and anything else. So.
Yeah. I love training other people and training and doing it for the love of doing it. And when you do it for the love of doing it, I already know. My central nervous system's already primed and trained. If I have to do this on the street, I know I can do this.
It's there.
Yeah, I don't have to live
in the moment, in a kill zone.
Fight ready.
Yeah. It's
I'm
a fun place to live, anyway.
Yeah.
But I find I'm more creative when I'm not in a competition state or I feel like I have some kind of stress. I can just let everything flow.
Yeah, we're talking about flow states a little bit.
Flow states, Oh, there's some science jumping in my brain right now to explain that. I can't grab all of it. About why that's happening.
Oh, because your cortisol levels are being low. Because if you get your heart rate up, like when I teach people, I don't like to do a warm up beforehand.
I'll keep it down so their brain's clear.
When I teach people, when I'm actually in the teaching phase, I want their heart rate low, so that they don't reach fight or flight, where the cortisol dumps and doesn't allow the dendrites to make connections. So. After you, that's what I was going. Because if your heart rate's up and your dendrites aren't making connections, no matter what I teach you, it's not going to get it. Now, what we do is I teach in that level, and I get people to absorb and dial in with a low heart rate. And then, once they've got the muscle memory of it, then you go under situations, you train it in situations, you do reps in situations of duress.
Situations they actually have something to go back to.
You're actually going with a heart rate. So when we fight or flight, it's not a learning state of mind, it's a reaction state of mind. So it's all the things that we've already learned and dialed into ourselves or programmed in our bodies, that's when they come out.
And it's automatic reactions.
Yes. Fucking crazy. You just dialed it into your mitochondria.
It's there,
It's now instinct.
I've been sort of researching that by proxy almost. I started reading this really funny book called basically How to Be Batman. And I didn't expect it to be like a really good scientific book, and it ended up being a complete review of my exercise physiology degree. It's super in depth, and so it's all coming back to me. And then and then I've been researching flow states a lot, and then just sort of neural networking with that, and it's been really fun to connect it.
I've like microdosed LSD to get there fast.
I haven't gotten there fast yet. I'd like to do the magnetic one. Military's been doing this a lot with training snipers. It's basically like electroshock therapy. They turn off your frontal lobe and put them in a flow state and teach them something, and they learn it like that.
How the fuck do they do that?
With a magnet.
Electromagnetic field or just a magnet?
I haven't seen it. I don't know all the details yet.
Because if it's just a magnet, I remember remember the magnets came out, like it was 1998-ish. There was like magnets for making a surgeon's Niken.
Yeah.
Magnets for healing and stuff like that. I used to put them up here for my headaches, but it didn't work.
I have too.
But I wore them mostly on my knee, but I never, to be honest, I never felt anything. I never felt...
Yeah, I have a couple of those No, but it's
high-gauss magnets.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. No, but it's an electromagnetic shock. And literally just...
Oh, so it's kind of like a, what do they call those? Magnetic pulse?
Yeah, a little bit.
When they shut down.
EMP?
It's a little bit like
you're basically EMP in your frontal lobe.
Wow.
But,
it's like a lobotomy.
Pretty much.
Just an electronic
I mean, it's just...
It's the overthinkers being shut down. It's probably what's happening.
Just shocking Woody Allen and be quiet.
Cool. You got anything else you want to press on? Probably get ready for class here soon.
Yeah, so you guys better get ready. No, I'm sorry I made it back and you guys are still talking. I can't wait to listen to it.
We're shooting the shit with a recorder on, so that's cool.
Isn't that what we do anyway?
That's it, yeah.
That's kind of how it is.
That's the podcast.
And in true coffee regular fashion, it's got something in the background.
Always. Music, chains.
This time it's not a shower.
Toilet flushing, whatever. Fuck it. Organic's better.
Oh, I'm about to go pee, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool, we'll wrap it up.
So wrapping it up.
Boom. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Keep your coffee regular.